Hey everybody, it's Marty, the JavaScript party, and buddy Rhett back there. Um, she has been getting pretty feisty lately during my shows. I think she's trying to figure out where she fits in. Yeah, that's a nice kiss, Rhett. Good job. Um, but actually, right before I started this, she's like, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" I think she wanted me to get rolling on the show. So yesterday we added a new branch, or we made some commits and we pushed a branch for the cone, getting the cones ready. The nice thing about when you if you push a branch and then you come here is that it knows, oh, you just did one, so you might want to do something. But since it's been a while since I pushed it, I guess I don't get that. It'd be nice if it still was like, oh well, the last you recent like yesterday you pushed a branch or whatever, but we can't. So I guess we could go to branches. Okay, so we got this cone. Says yesterday. Let's see what we can. If this is where we do. Okay, so yeah, we want to create a new pull request. So that's a good way to do it. I think most of the time I usually have a link because I'll push it and then I come straight here. So it's saying, hey, we're able to merge it. There's no, I think this kind of checks to see if there's any obvious Git conflicts. And so go, I'm gonna say, I don't even think we need a description. I used to put like really good descriptions in here with pictures and everything, but a lot of places this becomes part of the commit, and it can really screw things up. So I quit doing that. But we push this button, create pull request. I thought I pushed it. Create pull request. Okay, so now we have our pull request. It's checking this again. It did check that a second ago. Has two commits, so let's just kind of look at this. Adds more README stuff, implements cone geometry, and has 4 files that were changed. So I always go over this. Okay, so this is cool. We just added that. Um, Cone geometry makes sense. That makes sense. Um, then this is weird. It's like supported mesh. I remember mentioning this. Like a geometry is not a mesh. So I don't know why that's in there, but I am not going to look into that. For some reason, I added extra space there. Probably a lot of places you would get they would ask you to remove that before you pushed. They would typically most places would ask you, hey, can you remove this change? And you just add a commit. Usually says something like, you know, addresses a PR concern or something like that. Something pretty vague. Um, then that makes sense. So we're just saying, hey, if there's a change to cone geometry, then make these changes. I guess what happens is if you change, you need to update everything. Everything that you can needs to be updated if you've turned it from one kind of mesh to another kind of mesh. Um, that's a kind of an interesting thing, like when you're doing, like if you change from like a sphere to a cone, once you've created the new geometry and everything, it doesn't inherit any of the values, attributes that it was when it was a cone and you went to a sphere or something like that. So like, let's say you had a kind of, let's say you had an overlap, it would probably, you would want to reset everything basically. And maybe that would have been better is to call that like reset values. Um, and, it would have made the code a little bit easier to understand. Um, and then, hey, Rhett. Hey, Rhett. And then, so that makes sense if, okay, so this is in the template. That makes sense. So everything makes sense to me, so I'm just going to go back and I wish there was a place at this point here to pull it in, but it looks like I think you have to do it over here on the conversation tab, which is weird, right? It's kind of strange that it's like if you're only going to do it on one tab, there probably should just be a tab for committing things. Um, but so we're going to merge it. There's really no reason to put a comment in there. Maybe we have to confirm the merge. So now we'll go back to our code. Wrong one. So now we're back in our IDE. We'll go to another command line and we'll go get checkout. I can't remember if this one is main or master. Main. Get checkout main. So it doesn't want me to do this because I have a change. So what I always do is I just go do get stash. So that'll kind of make a copy, and it's a get thing that makes a copy that you can get back, and then get checkout main, and then get pull, and that'll get my latest changes, which this is actually one of the things. And then I can say get stash pop. And now we're back. We're back. We have our change, our README change that we had, and we are on main. And so now I can't remember what we want to work on next. Chat GPT. I think we want to work on circle, I think it was called. It's a 2D thing. I don't seem to. Oh, there we go. 3D geometries. Overview, and then basically, I would love to get into these. See, this is one of the big things that could cause the next POC to have to be completely redone. I think the thing that will probably kill the next POC, where we won't be able to turn it in, is like I'll probably be able to create a pretty good rudimentary uploader, but it won't have. I was thinking about this yesterday while I was walking my dogs, but it won't have like the ability to create like a zip file that has like images and MP3 files and stuff like that in there, so that you can create a whole scene. So that will probably, and then once we start working down that, it'll be like, oh man, it would have been so much better if I'd done it this way, and then we'll have to kind of start all over again. But so these are our basic geometries. So this plane geometry seems to be very popular, but I think I want to do this 2D circle. So parameters are radius, segments, start angle, and end angle, but it looks like you can just get away with the radius. So that's what we're going to do. I think that will be cool. So we'll create a new branch. So get checkout dash B. This is sort of a check thing. And this is sort of like the reverse of how my brain works. Like if I would have been Linus Torvaldi and built Git, it would have been Git branch dash C. I would because I'm thinking in order of what you want to do. You want to create a branch and then you want to do a C. But that's why I always think that like I don't know what his original language was, if it's English or not. But wherever he's from, they probably have a different grammatical structure to their language than ours, because than English, than American English. Wherever he's from, English may be their language. But like I know in Spanish, like you'll be like in English, we'll say, hey, that's a green car. But in Spanish, you'll say that's a car of green, right? So this is like in my brain, it's like the first thing I'm going to do is create a branch, and then I'm going to check it out. So I would think I would be get branch dash C, not get checkout dash B. But anyways, and circle, and then enter, and now we're on a new branch called circle. Now Git doesn't know about this branch, right? GitHub doesn't know about this branch. So if we were to go back to GitHub, and we were back in our showtime, and we were looking at our branches, we don't see circle. So now if I do this, I think I can just say git push, and it'll tell me, hey, this is how you create one upstream, right? So it says fatal current branch has no upstream branch. It doesn't exist. So I can go like this. And now if I go over here to GitHub, see, we see our new branch. So that means that I could work with somebody else. We could both be working on the same branch, making changes. Um, so we are 10 minutes in. I think that's a really great time. So I will call it quits here. And tomorrow, which is going to be Monday, the 23rd of December for me, and it'll probably be Wednesday, the 24th of December for you if you watch this on the day it gets uploaded. Um, if that, then you'll start. I mean, we'll be up working on actually getting this circle thing. The last one I think took 2 days to actually implement the cone. So I would assume that the circle will probably take 2 sessions to implement. Um, there's so that should be easy and fun. Anyways, happy coding, everybody. Bye.